for the victory in MAC play tonight. After losses to Ohio at home by 2 and then blown out on the road at Akron. Rockets home whites, and here we go. First half-court possession for the home team. Sonny Wilson runs the show. Team's leader in scoring and assists. Back all freshman team a year ago. Sam Lewis, the sophomore, 14-plus points a game for him. Good chat with Simmons today. He's confident about tonight. Wants to get a double-double, he told us. And a bump foul call on the free throw line. Lamont Simpson, Kenneth Moreland, and Blanca Burns, the on-court officiating crew here tonight.
One of the things that Coach Kowalczyk talked to us before the game is getting Isaiah Adams going. Had a pretty solid game in their last outing. Before that, shot 0 of 21 from 3. The way he got himself going was getting to the rim, going downhill.
Adams travels this time. Foul a moment ago on Jonga, his first for Central Michigan. It's turned back over to the Chippewas. Todd Kowalczyk telling us also in, first of all, the film session, we're happy to get access. Yeah. We appreciate that. Very cool to watch film of the Rockets this morning. And then during the practice today, got to have 9 turnovers or less tonight. Want to allow 8 offensive rebounds or less to Central Michigan. That's not easy to do. Shevchis, the handle, the pass out, and Vasco's got 3.
On that one, Toledo got caught up in the switch there. Oogie had the small on him. The help side collapsed, and that allowed him to kick that ball out to Vasco for the corner 3.
Swiss Army knife sophomore Vasco, a starter a year ago. Here's the steal for Hetty, the leading scorer for Central Michigan, the easy stuff. And the Chips off to a great start. A pick 6 for Jacoby Hetty.
That was a poor job from Sam Lewis setting up his cut. Got to cut a little bit harder to get yourself open, especially with the athletic Hetty.
Simmons, a redshirt sophomore, post player for Todd Kowalczyk. He's started the last 2 games for the Rockets. Both wins. Earned a spot in the starting lineup in his sophomore year. Feet in traffic, Wilson gathers. 2 to shoot. Here's Lewis for 3. Front iron miss. There's Shevchis, junior forward from Lithuania. Averages 12.5 points, almost 6.5 rebounds a game. Double-double threat. Had a double-double at Marquette. That's a Big East powerhouse, nationally ranked team for Shaka Smart. This guy's good. Fluid movement for the transfer from Lithuania.
Right now, Toledo is switching all pick and rolls.
He'll try a 3. Short this time on a miss. Rebound for Lewis, the sophomore. And back-to-back double-doubles against Purdue and Western Michigan to start MAC play for Todd Kowalczyk. Start 3 for Ford of his career. See how things work out for him. Good take for 2 for Simmons. Team's 3rd leading scorer. 11+ per game. 2 players for Toledo scoring double figures. He's the team's leader in field goal percentage as well. One of 3 starting left-handers as Pritchard takes the easy layup. And he sees part. Anthony Pritchard has got 2 for the Chips.
There's a little confusion there from Toledo. I don't think they knew if they were going to switch that pick and roll. Simmons didn't know if he was going to take Pritchard, and Pritchard took advantage by getting downhill quickly off that pick and roll action.
Ever seen 3 lefties in a starting lineup in college basketball?
It's pretty rare.
Very rare. Adams, one of the southpaws, misses that. It's out of bounds the baseline off of Toledo back to Central Michigan.
You see the replay there. I don't think Simmons knew that he was going to be switching off. You have to communicate there defensively if you're Toledo, and a lot of that it's on Simmons because Sonny Wilson has to stay locked in and guarding the ball. They've mixed it up a little bit on the pick and roll coverage, sometimes switching. They've sent the ball to the baseline a few times. They've been in the drop coverage, so you got to be on the same page there defensively.
First team All-MAC. Anthony Pritchard, transfer from Tulsa, native of Tulsa, Oklahoma. What a talent he has become for Tony Barbie in Mount Pleasant. Only 1st or 2nd team All-MAC player from last year back this year in the Mid-American Conference. That's amazing. Long range shot. VanderJagt free. Cans it.
And again, it's because they're switching. They try to do a cross switch to get Sonny Wilson off of Oogie there. And then VanderJagt found himself wide open because Sonny Wilson was late getting out to the 3-point shooter.
Talented multi-skill player. Transfer from Belmont. 4 on the baseline with 10 to shoot here. Rockets stuck in the glue here to begin the game. Long-range shot from Lewis. Maybe that will get Toledo going in the right direction. First 3 of the game for the Rockets.
And he is 11 of 18 on open catch and shoot threes. That's over 60%. So if you leave him open, Lewis is going to knock it down.
Pritchard led Central last year. Points per game, field goals made, field goal assists, steals. Co-defensive player of the year in the MAC. Preseason player of the year this season. On the sideline, Vasco turns it over. We got our first timeout from Toledo, Ohio. It's Maction. Second of a doubleheader of the Mid-American Conference on CBS Sports Network.
Central Michigan team.
No O-boards yet for either team early on. That is a key stat to track. As the coach emphasized that in the film session with his Rockets and with us pregame. Andre Lawrenson, senior forward from Sweden, on the court for Coach K of the MAC for the first time. Lewis handles here, team's second leading scorer. Knocked aside, and it is a turnover. Hubbard trying to track it down, the Western Michigan transfer.
And I like the defensive energy thus far that Central Michigan has brought. I mean, it starts with Pritchard picking up the ball full court, which takes time off the clock. And the Wings are doing a really good job of making it hard for catches. And tonight, I think that's why Hubbard turned it over.
Central had a long shoot around today. An hour and a half or so here at Savage. There's a lot of very intense defensive drills. VanderJagt got one already. He'll try this over Lorenzen, back iron miss. Defensive glass for Hubbard. For the Broncos last year in scoring. Can't beat him, join him, right? In-conference transfers, part of the new era in college basketball. It's a thing. Simmons triple team. Kicks out Hubbard. Long range miss, back iron Lorenzen. Up high for the offensive rebound. There's one we talked about being so important. Lewis to drive to the basket. Can't hit. Simmons tries on the stick back, but some contact earns him a trip to the free throw line. Caden Vasco picks up his first foul. Good chat with Simmons today after the Rockets shoot around. He's a big Draymond Green fan.
Yeah.
Big Julius Randle fan. 3-time All-Star now with the T-Wolves. He's a lefty.
Yeah, especially in modern basketball. I mean, you have to be able to be comfortable as a big playing on the perimeter. And Simmons only 6'7". Got off to a slow start this season. I think there was some expectations for him to kind of emerge as one of the better players in the MAC. So we'll see, something to monitor for Toledo to see if he can up his play to meet those expectations.
Early, 4 of his team's 7. Pritchard runs the show. VanderJagt, we've seen from long range already in this game. Additional player for Tony Barbie. Pulls up his dribble here, needs some help. Bail out Vasco, late to shoot. Here's the sophomore from Indiana, drives in, thought about a hammer. Instead, late adjusted to a layup and missed it. It's a tough empty possession after a nice drive from Vasco to the basket for the Chips. Simmons double team. Central Michigan's not going to give him a lot of good looks tonight, clearly. Here's a repost for Simmons. Uses that big body. And right back to the free throw line to shoot 2.
And I love that because off the first post up, he was double teamed. And then I like that Hubbard went right back to him, because when you do a repost, it's very hard after the help players have gone back to their man to double up again. And so usually when you get a repost after a double, you're able to play one-on-one basketball in the post. 2 fouls on Jonga. So Tony Barbie just brought him back on the court. He's right back to the bench for Central. Shevchis returns, 6'10" junior, 220-pounder. How about Shaden Simpson getting some time? He hasn't played since December 30th against Cleary. It's been a minute. Had a good shoot-around today. Coach Barbie, I think, was hinting that Simpson would get an opportunity here tonight. 7-0 Rocket run. 3 of the last 3-16 for Tony Barbie's Chippewas. Simpson, the 6'6" redshirt freshman from Toronto, one of 2 Canadians on the roster for Central.
Hunter Harding, a 7-footer, out with a foot injury. His foot was in a boot today, so 3 bigs out long-term for Central Michigan. It's not easy to compete. What kind of injury trouble? Shevich has lost it, but was bump foul call.
VanderJagt on that one. Should have just stayed solid. He had good positioning. You know, he pissed Oogie out of the paint, so you didn't need to lean in and reach there.
VanderJagt into the game first time from Croatia. VanderJagt briefly lost the handle. 14 to shoot here for the Chips. Long 3. Shevich does hit. Got range we told you about. Looked great in pregame today. Practiced a lot of threes. That's his 11th triple of the season.
Yeah, last game was 2 of 3 from 3. Was 0 of 10 in his previous 3 games. Good to see him get a rhythm going.
Good take for Wilson. Team's leading scorer, his first 2 of the game here tonight. Sophomore from Pontiac, Michigan, outside Detroit. Simpson the handle. On a bounce. Here's Oogie. Simpson tries a shot from the right wing, a 3. Rattles out. Lorenzen a hand on it. Defensive rebound. Big stats to keep an eye on. Shevich able to track it down. Fresh 20 here for CMU. High-low play. Simpson free. Lays it in. Great feed. Good finish. Pritchard saw him. Jaden Simpson for 2. Tony Barbie had the right feeling.
Yeah.
Putting it back on the court. Take to the basket there. VanderJagt is fouled on the way up.
It's good pace here from Pritchard. Got cut off a little bit, took his time, had his head up, and Hubbard got caught ball watching. Really good job of Simpson not just being a bystander on the corner, making a cut and getting a good finish.
Kyler VanderJagt, partner, picks up his first foul. It was before the shot from VanderJagt. Inbounds play for Wilson and Toledo. Central Michigan 6 of 10 to begin the game, 3 for 5 from 3. Shooting's been an issue for Tony Barbie. Looking for a good start tonight. He told us after the chip shooter on how important that was going to be. Not playing a complete game in a long time. Takeaway from Simpson. And he's tripped on the way up court. Oh, you've got a timeout from Toledo. Central up by
3 points per game, and now he's the leading scorer in the country at almost 26.
Toledo down this game. They've won 12 of the last 15 head-to-head with Central Michigan. We told you about last year's thriller from Mount Pleasant. Anthony Pritchard and company. And Toledo's 20-game MAC regular season win streak, an all-time record. Pritchard needs help. Bail out VanderJagt. 10 to shoot. Hanging and hitting. Tough shot through traffic for Kyler VanderJagt, his second field goal.
He's playing his best basketball, coming off a game with Akron, 20 points, 9 of 14 from the fields. Getting it done at all 3 levels, can get to the painted area, can shoot in the mid-range, and he can knock down a 3-ball as well.
From Grand Rapids, 7 times the double figures for him. Tough angle shot. Almost went down for Adams. Hustle on the baseline there for Hubbard. It's out of bounds, right back to Central.
I think VanderJagt is going to compete for 6th man of the year in the MAC. I mean, this guy that came from Belmont, only averaged 3 points per game in his 2 years there, has really found a home here in Central Michigan.
47 games, no starts for VanderJagt at Belmont. In 2 years, 1.1 point and 2.2 points a game, so not a factor, not part of the rotation. And I'm with you, Trey. Good call early in the year, in January, 6th man of the year for VanderJagt. I like it.
There it is
right
again.
on cue, as if he heard us. Up and in off the glass for another field goal for Central.
And they're 5-2 when he scores 10 points or more, and 1-6 when he doesn't. So they need his offensive production.
He's got 7. And the chip was 19 already. It's like you heard us talking about.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. So you call it good TV. Drive to the basket and a foul call. VanderJagt, the big guy, 6'10", 230 from Croatia, shoots 2.
And it's just a flat screen, which is always hard to cover because the big man doesn't know which way that the ball handler is going to go. And that's really on the guard who's guarding the ball. You have to force him one direction. You can't play it straight up when there's what's called a flat pick and roll, where the screener's butt is basically towards the baseline. It's not sending it either direction. And VanderJagt took advantage.
One more here for Burchick. 13 of 19 from the field. A lot of point-blank opportunities for him, for the big guy down low. 68+% from the field. Today, Toledo rebounding twice off the bench for Todd Kowalczyk. Misses 2. Fellow European Jaroszewicz. That's the rebound for Central. Great start for the visitors here from Mount Pleasant. Jacoby Hetty's been really quiet. Had the pick 6 early. That's been it. Leading scorer for Central Michigan heading in. Out of bounds again. Second time that's happened in the game here.
Yeah, that was Vasco. That was Vasco the last time we did it too.
Kind of know where you are on the floor.
Yeah. It's kind of one of those habits, you know, he's an older player, so should know that. I mean, your foot sometimes goes back as you're trying to attack from that corner.
Both Central turnovers have been the same sort of play there from Vasco. Here's Adams. Back in. Height advantage, VanderJagt. Here's 4 to the corner. Got it 3. Trying to get Toledo going. The sophomore second career start came against Eastern Tuesday here. A career high 28 minutes. He's been playing really well for the Rockets.
And Toledo's 4-0 when he scores over 9 points. So see if he can continue this hot streak. Had 18 points in that Eastern game. His best game by far of the season.
Shooting 62.5% of the 2 games he started. Pretty good. And averaging 13.5. Jaroszewicz, the deep touch, foul called. Burchick beside himself. He and Hubbard collapsed on the big guy from Lithuania. And it's called on Hubbard.
I'm going to tell you what, Dave. These guards for Toledo are going to be sore tomorrow, having to guard Ubi, number 21, on the block with all the switching that's going on. I mean, that is a load down there to try to front the post, fight him.
Simpson for Pritchard, inbounds play. Front iron miss. Rebound pulled down by Sam Lewis, the sophomore. Chicago. 14 points, 10 rebounds for him against Western Michigan to begin. Mack play on cue, hits a nice fadeaway. He's got 5 points early here for Toledo.
That's a good play, just good pace there from Lewis. Being able to use the pick and roll, get the re-screen. And if they're in that drop coverage, he's money from the mid-range.
VanderJagt knifing through traffic, trying to continue. A huge first tap is fouled. On the way to the basket by Sam Lewis. Shoots 2 here for Central Michigan.
VanderJagt and Lewis are very similar players offensively as you watch them. I mean, kind of stronger guards, can score from all 3 levels, don't mind taking mid-range jumpers, and not the most athletic, but are able to read angles, take high-quality shots. It's a good take there from VanderJagt, able to draw the foul.
Got one more. Got 8 points already here in the first half. A couple subs in. It's Brian Jonga. 2 early fouls returns. Here for Tony Barbie. You told us today that VanderJagt really has elevated his game, and sometimes part of it takes a new set of surroundings. Leaves Belmont, was not in the rotation, not a key guy. Comes to Central Michigan. Now he's one of the main men. And as you said, could be 6th man of the year in the MAC this year.
That's the beauties of the portal. I mean, sometimes it doesn't work out at a school, and that's okay. You know, maybe it's not just as good of a fit in terms of stylistic playing. And VanderJagt is really fit in here to Coach Barbie's system.
He's got 9, leads all scorers here first half. Lorenzen up high for Simmons. Ford lost the handle, taken away by Hetty. Bethune-Cookman transfer. Pritchard by himself. Thought about 3, thinks better of it.
The one thing to watch is Toledo really struggled against the zone in their last game against Eastern Michigan.
VanderJagt again. Heat check, rattle out on him. Some contact. Jonga and Simmons come together. It's going to be a personal on Javen. Battling for position down low.
Toledo had a little bit of a lead, double-figure lead, and Eastern Michigan went to a 2-3 zone. Toledo had some struggles finding an offensive rhythm. Ended up a close game, 90-87.
Tony Barbie, as you see Hetty check out, team's leading scorer, more than 13 a game. Told us that Hetty had a lot of opportunities, NIL money, other places, power conference teams, but wanted to play with his brother Quentin, who was a JC transfer on the same roster for one season together at Central. Pretty cool.
Yeah, another thing with that is, like, sometimes you want to be a main piece, and I can relate to that. You don't want to be a role player going to a Power 5, even with the money.
Lewis baseline, smooth. '14th leading scorer in the MAC entering play here tonight. Really good three-point shooter, 45+%. That's number 2 in the Mid-American Conference. Got 1 3 tonight. He's been outstanding. So is this guy, VanderJagt. First half for Central Michigan, double team. Simmons help from Ford. Up top, Jonga tries a long shot. 6 threes on the year for him. Maybe beyond his range. Simmons. Lewis trying to heat up here. Rockets playing from behind the entire night. Here's Ford, the lefty. There's 3.
And that's the second time with the repost for Simmons. I love that. Get the ball to the big fella. If he doesn't have anything, feed him again. Simmons is an unselfish player, able to find Ford on the opposite wing.
Ford, sophomore, Scottsdale, Arizona. Injured in and out of the lineup last year. Todd Kowalczyk told us today Bryce thought he should have been starting last season. But 3 really good all-MAC players who have departed. Double dribble call leading us to a timeout. They're gone. Ford is here and playing really well for Toledo.
And it's Simmons on the post. Bryce Ford playing with a ton of confidence, able to knock down the hurry from the wing. It's hard to do to win 4 consecutive regular season MAC titles. Coach that gives you a ton of freedom, offensive-minded, cool, calm, and collective. Definitely a coach I would like to play for.
Fantastic coach. 5 regular season titles to tie the great Bob Nichols' first all-time Toledo history. Simmons hits, long-range shot. And the Rockets have a lead here by 2.
And if you're Central, you're going to live with that because Simmons has only made 1 shot outside of the paint all season long.
First lead of the night. 12-2 Rocket run. Let's see how Pritchard and company respond here for Central. Kicks into the corner. Hetty thinking 3, drains it. Jacoby Hetty's second field goal of the night.
And that was a Spanish pick and roll where you have a pick and roll and a back screen coming at the same time. It's always confusing to see who's going to be the help side defender when that comes.
Simmons again, top of the key, short this time for the lefty. Pritchard the rebound. In the Rocket film session, we heard that Spain quite a bit today, and defending it. It's a big part of the scout early. Bonds, long-range shot. 22 against Purdue Northwest, the non-Division I program earlier this year. Tony Barbie hoping he can get going. He's a great shooter. He called him an electrifying shooter when he gets loose. A wingate of the game for Toledo hits.
I think if you're Coach Barbie, you're going to live with that all day long with Toledo's big stepping out and making perimeter shots. Good job, Winga, knocking it down and being confident.
6'9" freshman from Grand Rapids. It's playing time of the night for the Rockets.
Here's the Spain again. Vasco setting that back screen.
8 to shoot. Bonds again. Back iron miss. Here's change rebound. Seth Hubbard. Thought about a 3. Spins on Vasco. Hubbard inside the free throw line. Can't drain it. Hetty tracks down the rebound for Central. Bethune-Cookman transfer, driving in off the glass and in. Seeing why he's the top scorer on the Central team.
And that was a great take there because he had a slight hesitation as if he was going to pass it out to the wing. And I think that cleared the lane for him to play one-on-one.
Lewis on the end trying to respond. Back iron miss. Pritchard long rebound, offensive glass for Central Michigan. Eddie 3 for 3, hit 1 3 as well. Count that basket. Drive to the hoop there, Pritchard. Some contact with Simmons.
And Hattie getting, see that quick little hesitation there where the look off and able to finish through contact.
Shoot 2. Lamont Simpson, Kenneth Moreland, Blanca Burns, on-court officiating crew here tonight in Toledo. There's Pritchard. Tony Barbie told us today he's overcome a lot of personal strife in his life. Tough background, raised by his grandma. Good support system with his friends too and coaches growing up. But a real self-starter. He said to us, basketball pretty much saved me.
Yeah.
Got me away from a lot of tough situations growing up in Tulsa.
Another guy who probably had an opportunity to go to the Power 5 ranks, especially his defensive prowess could have been a great fit as a defender, maybe off the bench, but chose to stay a loyal guy. You'd love to see it.
Wilson's take, no two. Ford on the kick out is pushed on the way to the basket before the shot. And Pritchard told us I could have gone to a lot of power conferences with NIL money, but didn't want to start over with a coach, because he trusts Tony Barbie. Tony Barbie trusts him. And when he's already ingrained in the program.
And I think 10 years down the line, when you look back at it, in hindsight, I always feel more times than not, you'll always feel good about staying home, because now he's going to have a home for the rest of his life after basketball.
Simpson partner picks up that foul on the inbounds play. The play before, Jacoby Heddy, leading scorer for Central, picked up his second. Seven fouls on CMU. Sends Lewis to the free throw line here. He's leading rebounder. 14-10, double-double in the MAC opening win over Western Michigan. Part of back-to-back double-doubles. Also against Purdue. Toledo competed in that game for about 3/4 of the ball game on the road in West Lafayette. So you see the record, you think, oh, 6-6 in non-conference. They play some tough games in the non-conference, the MTE and on the road.
But those games get you ready for league play. I mean, going up against a Purdue team on the road, you learn a lot about yourself, and you get exposed in ways that you might not get exposed in league play.
On for Lewis in the game. VanderJagt leads the way with 9 for Central. Vasco, VanderJagt travels. Fourth Central miscue first half here. A key offensive rebound stat partner we're going to keep an eye on. 2 so far for the Chips, 4 for Toledo. Fast break points, 8 zip Central. That was their big concern in the shoot around, that Toledo would run and gun. It's been the opposite so far. Wilson into the front court. Nice hesitation to get free. Blocked away. Bonds. Shevich, both were there for Central Michigan. Bonds, the sharpshooter, lost the handle. Up ahead for Hubbard. Wow. Pritchard, some contact. Wild shot.
Averaging 11 points per game in his first 5.
2 shots, Hubbard. Everyone off the line here. Flicker, 1 call. 1 more coming here for Seth. You're right. Todd Kowalczyk said to us today, we've got to get him going. A little mini rut after a really good start. It's 2. Ball here for the Rockets on the flagrant 1. Totally different role at Toledo than it was the Broncos.
Between him and Adams, who also was a guy who was one of the leading scorers at Buffalo in the MAC, if Toledo can get those guys going offensively, it just brings a whole different dynamic.
Right on cue, the inbounds play. Simmons to Adams. And the transfer from both UCF and Buffalo. 3rd stop for him. Has got his first bucket of the night. It's like you watch film or something today with the team. Which we did. It was fun. Pritchard on a bounce. There's Shevich, double team. Too aggressive, though, is Isaiah Adams.
And that was one of the things they talked about and went over and shoot around, is that on all post-ups, Toledo is going to double, whether that's off the ball or whether that's 2 passes away from the guy guarding the top of the key. So far, Toledo's done a pretty good job of rotating out of that, as Oogie got fouled on that last one.
First foul on Adams, partner of the night. Front end 1-on-1. Hit there by Ugnis Yerashevich, the junior from Lithuania, transfer Cal State Bakerfield. 3 double-doubles, 10 games in double figures, fluid athlete. Good shooters we saw with a 3 earlier in the game here tonight. Moves well for a big guy.
Yeah, he's first. I mean, kind of a standard European big that can play inside and out, a pick and pop threat. Saw him hit one early on.
Rumor has it he can run a 5-minute, 30-second mile.
Wow, that's impressive.
That's very impressive. We watched him in practice today. The way he runs, I believe it. I believe it. Pritchard, 2-man game. Jurashevich. Pritchard not this time. Bonds. Long rebound, fresh 20. And Vasco, glue guy on this Central team. Double team. Oogie the kick out. Vasco up top. Can't click from 3. Front iron miss. Long rebound, Wilson. On the move for Toledo.
Good transition defense from Central.
Hubbard kicks out. Adams hits it. Back to back for Isaiah Adams in his 3rd stop. Team's 4th leading score. 4-point game.
Taxes.
2 games he played against the Rockets, 24 points, 19 points, shot 60% from the field. Combining those 2 games, and again, can't beat him, join him.
Yeah.
Come over to Toledo and get it done for the Rockets now. The field goals last 2:45 and counting for VanderJagt and Central Michigan now.
Now it's Adams fighting down there with Oogie. Good
Bonds
job of boxing out.
From deep. Really hoping he can get going here. 1 for the last 10 from the field. Coming up, AT&T at the half in the studio tonight. Gianna Martin, John Rothstein, our insider, a preview of SEC Saturday. League we talked about the other night, partner, you and I at Bradley in Peoria, how good the SEC is doing this year on the court. Florida's beat top-ranked Tennessee this week. Some big games in the SEC coming up.
You don't see it every year where a #1 team loses by 30 points. But that just shows you how good the conference is.
Auburn at South Carolina Saturday. Tennessee at Texas tomorrow as well. Alabama plays at A&M. Big games in the SEC. Big game here tonight in the MAC. Under a minute to go. First half from Toledo. Back and forth. 3rd league game for each. Long-range shot for Simpson. Back iron miss. And the lid on the basket remains here for Tony Barbie's team. They missed 11 of their last 12. Their field goal is now at about 4 minutes. Shot clock, game clock, about 6-second differential to wrap up the first half here. Wilson runs the show. Over Bonds. Back iron miss. Ford up high. Looking for the stick back. Here's the kick out. It's Adams. Dumps down low. Ford had it blocked. Great recovery defense. And zeros on the clock after 20. Ohio picked to win preseason poll. We'll pick 4th. Central Michigan 8th. 12 teams in the MAC this year. Heading to handle. Passed it off his leg, turned over. Into the hands of Isaiah Adams. Up court, layup easy for Wilson.
That's exactly what you don't want to do if you're Central. A live ball turnover. That's when Toledo's at their best, when they're able to get out and run. Great lead pass to lead Sonny Wilson for the layup.
Vasco for VanderJagt. Fantastic first half. Good take for 2. Jurashevich. And 3 and a nice finish with the right.
Oogie got so deep in there. Toledo, they like to double off the post, but because he created such great position down there, Toledo wasn't able to double, and he was able to get over that left shoulder.
Other end for Adams. Third stop, UCF Buffalo. We saw the Bulls play tonight a moment ago in that recap with Kent State. And it this time. Here's Hetty. Long range 3. Back iron miss. Rebound for Wilson. Nice hesitation. Another really good Toledo guard. Kowalczyk known for so many players in the backcourt. It's been fantastic here. Adams drives in and is held on the way to the basket.
Toledo getting off to a good start. Good job by Lewis sitting on the ball, and then a great lead pass from Adams to lead Sonny Wilson in stride for the easy layup.
Shevich's partner picks up his first. Here's Lewis. First tap for Toledo. Wilson draws 3 defenders. Kick out for 4, the lefty. Soars and scores 2 more.
It all started with Wilson getting a paint touch. Whenever you get multiple dribble drives on a possession, that opens up the floor and gives you more room to penetrate as the defense is compromising the help side position.
9 for Lewis, 8 for Ford, 8 for Simmons in the game tonight. VanderJagt spins and scores. Good response. Much needed for Central Michigan.
VanderJagt does such a good job of playing off of 2 feet. He got cut off there, let the defender pass him, spin back to his left, and is able to get the turnaround jumper.
First player in the game tonight, Trey, into double figures. 4-6 shooting for VanderJagt. Going the other way with the off-ball foul. That's Adams. Second personal on the big for Todd Kowalczyk.
On the offensive end here for Central, because Toledo is switching the pick and rolls, they're getting open looks from the 3 as they're trying to figure out how to help off the post off Oogie. They're trying to post him up again.
Heading 3-point threat. 1 for 2 so far from beyond the arc. Can't click from deep. Rebound for Bryce Ford. Off career best 18 we talked about against Eastern Michigan here on Tuesday night. It's continued. 3rd straight start for him. Adams, contested shot by Vasco from about 15 is short. Pritchard on the move, right to the basket. Can't finish though. Thought about the stuff, came up a bit short, and then couldn't lay it in. Simmons runs the court. Well, the big guy fills the lane perfectly on the fast break for 2.
Toledo really got fortunate. 3rd time now where Toledo has not picked up the ball in transition. They're fortunate that Pritchard blew that layup.
10 for Simmons. Pritchard, nice move baseline. There's 2. Mismatch with Adams.
Yeah, good job of attacking baseline where there's no help side. Quick little hesitation to act like he was going to his left, between the legs to the right, and a strong finish through contact.
6 points, 4 rebounds for the preseason MAC Player of the Year in Pritchard. Tough contested shot for Wilson. And the kick out, the offensive foul. You can't kick offensively, can you?
Yeah, and it was to see this. Pritchard didn't really know if he wanted to dunk it or to lay it in. And a good job. See a little quick hesitation between the legs move. A tight handle is able to give him the space to get by. And Pritchard on the defensive end is giving Sonny Wilson fits. I mean, you look at the numbers for Wilson right now. 1 of 4 from the field, 2 turnovers, only 4 points now, excuse me. But making really everything really challenging for Sonny Wilson.
Offensive foul call. Off the ball. Second on Yaroshevichus, the junior from Lithuania for Tony Barbie. Good 16th year. Second all-time. Toledo history 278 wins. Up for a lot of jobs over the years. So some talk about Utah State in the offseason, the Mountain West. But got a son, Race, who's a really good basketball player here in Toledo. A junior, being recruited by some big names like Bradley, team we saw the other night. Wake Forest interested too. Thought it was a better fit for his family, Toledo basketball, to stay. Yeah. Rocket fans are glad he did. He's got another really good team. Great coach. 7 to shoot here for Wilson. Hubbard back for Wilson. Difficult shot off the glass. Loose change. Hetty's got it. On the move here for Central. Within his range. That's the reset to VanderJagt. Simpson from Toronto. Back on the court for Tony Barbie. Here's Hetty the drive. Blocked away. Simmons a piece of it. Loose change though. Yaroshevichus with a couple fouls now. Does put it in for another bucket. Really smooth operator down low. He's got 9.
I love that Pritchard gave the ball back to Hetty on that to attack the mismatch against Simmons. That forced the help to come over, and that's what allowed Oogie to get the offensive rebounds.
Here's Simmons to take. No two. The lefty off the back iron comes to Hubbard. He'll try three long range. Too strong. Lorenzen tips it out. Some contact first. Simmons knocked down, foul on Central Michigan.
I think one thing to watch for fans here is if Sonny Wilson can get some type of momentum on the offensive end. And the hard thing about going against Pritchard is the fact that he's bigger and stronger than Sonny Wilson, but he's probably just as quick. So there's really no advantage that Sonny Wilson can take advantage of.
6'10" junior Yershevich does pick up his third foul, Trey. That's big. VanderJagt, sophomore, the CSUN transfer. Cal State Northridge out of Cameroon is back in. Good feed down low. Easy two for Wilson.
And it was set up by the short roll from Simmons. The hard hedge defense came from Central Michigan. Good job of playing off a two-bait, being patient from Simmons and finding Wilson for the cut.
Pritchard, the post up. He told us today's favorite player, Jalen Brunson. Nick Starr likes the post up. Just about anyone.
Oof.
Lewis, nice move.
Little Euro action.
Finish for Sam. Double figures for Lewis. Joins Simmons, 10+ points for Toledo. Lead balloons to 6. Important possession here for Central. VanderJagt. One-on-one move, the ISO. Speaking of Jalen Brunson. Nice finish.
That was great from VanderJagt. He cleared out the right side. He pushed Hetty to the other side of the floor so he could take advantage of that mismatch. Good job of the hip swivel to get to a post-up out of a drive and then get to the right side of the basket to finish the layup.
Got 13, partner, 5 of 8 shooting. Career best 20 for VanderJagt. Came against Akron earlier in the year. Lewis, 5 to shoot. Hubbard over Pritchard, hits it, and 1. Seth Hubbard, chance for a three-point play for the Rockets.
That's a tough finish there. Looked like there was nothing going on that possession. Hubbard made himself available with the flash. Kind of a questionable call there, I felt like. I thought Pritchard was vertical. But nonetheless, good job of Hubbard creating that contact and flexing for him a little bit. The and 1 finish.
Gotta have the flex, right? Did you have a flex in your days?
I didn't have the muscles for the flex. I didn't have the muscles for it. I didn't have the build for it.
Come on.
You do, Rhino.
This old guy's got to hit the weight room every day to remain respectable. Dave, Trey, our entire crew, great to have with us here in Action. CBS Sports Network tonight from Savage. The junior from Jonesboro, Georgia. And the Western Michigan transfer completes a three-point play. Irish Rocket lead now at 7. Back and forth game. We've had 5 lead changes tonight. Toledo led by 4 at halftime. Winga has returned for Toledo. Defends VanderJagt here. Quitnick's advantage for Central Michigan. Up top 3. Misfired. Yershevich with the 3 fouls remains on the court here. And a foul called positioning against Toledo.
Wilson there just kind of went up for the rebound. Didn't see Hetty behind him. With the size advantage that Hetty has, if you're Wilson, you have to look behind you and make contact and not allow him to get that offensive rebound.
2 fouls, partner. Sonny Wilson, sophomore from Pontiac. VanderJagt. A big game for Central Michigan. Pritchard's got to come alive here. Another 10 on the timer. VanderJagt gets aggressive and commits the offensive foul.
That was a good call from the official there. Using the off arm, you see that chicken wing extend with the right arm. That's an easy call. VanderJagt is a guard that's not the quickest, so he's going to utilize his size. On that one, I thought he could have maybe changed direction to create some space. Instead, used that off arm to push off and got the offensive foul.
Leon Bonds back on the court. VanderJagt out for now for Tony Barbie. JC transfer, Henry Ford Community College. As the ace three-point shooter. One of the Chips would love to see him heat up here. Second half at Toledo. Here's Wilson operating down low. Winga Adams hits. '92 career starts for him. 2 stops. Pritchard runs the court nicely.
And Adams did not send the ball into the ball screen. When you're guarding the ball in the drag situation, you have to send that ball towards the middle because you have no help on the baseline.
Pritchard, Co-MAC Defensive Player of the Year last year, shows us why with a theft. Tries to call a timeout and does get it just before the tie-up. Central's ball.
Foul. He got all into the base of the bench for Toledo. He's tapping his hands, trying to get the energy going to finish this game off.
Foul call on Vasco a moment ago, partner. In a 4-point game. Simmons' first free throw open in for the lefty, front end of the 1-on-1. And a chance for a second. His team up by 5. Simmons, 13 points in the game, 7 boards, 5 assists. He promised us a big game tonight. When we talked to him in the pregame shoot-around, he delivered. Second free throw front iron, no good. And a loose change rebound for Pritchard. Central down by 5, but they've got the ball here. Pritchard, right low block. Right on the paint. Watch by Ford. ISO back in. VanderJagt, kick out, top of the key, drives in, righty layup. It's blocked. Simmons, big reject to the left. Loose change comes to Pritchard, and a foul called as he drives toward the back.
Technical problems from Toledo. 54-49 game back and forth. Dave and Trey here. We went down with our technical problems. It was 49-42 with 11:49 to go. Toledo the lead. And immediate timeout. This is Hetty. The back end. From 10 hits. And 1. Jacoby Hetty heating up here. He's got 14 on 6 of 10 shooting. And Central right back in the game. Hubbard. Trey commits the foul.
And that's one of the plays that Toledo worked on guarding in their shoot-around this morning, where Hetty gets the ball on the baseline out of bounds and basically just plays one-on-one. I think if you're Toledo, you got to bring a little bit more help for Hubbard because Hetty has the height advantage and the size advantage.
Double figures, 14 of 15 games for the Bethune-Cookman transfer. It was all conference there. All SWAC last year for Bethune-Cookman. Jacoby Hetty coming with his brother Quentin. JC transfer. South Suburban College in Chicago last year. Hetty hits and completes a 3-point play. 1-possession game here.
See Central bringing a little bit of pressure. Let's see if they'll go back to that zone.
Wilson, Ford, across the timeline, saw the pressure from Central. Sonny Wilson, Rockets leader. Tries a 3. Front arm miss. Strong rebound. Adams was held from behind. Of what each coach talked about in the pregame with us today here in Toledo. Transition points Tony Barbie thought would be so important. And 7 for Toledo, 10 for Central Michigan, leading up to the free throws here for Adams.
And how about the improvement that Adams has made from the free throw line? We talked about almost shooting 90% coming into the day. It was a career 66% free throw shooter, so that's kind of kept him at bay as he struggled early on this season.
That's practice in the gym.
Yes.
That's extra work. He's very well tonight, 9 points. And 2-2 from the line. Hits a pair. Here's Hetty. Step back. Can't click this time. Over Lewis. And Adams' big night continues here for Toledo. Back to a 4-point lead. Back and forth game all night here from Savage. 4-time defending regular season champs trying to go 3-0 in league play. Wilson pulls up from 10, gets a roll. And some contact down low as well. Fouls. Pritchard runs the show here. Half a dozen point lead for Toledo. A big game for each with MAC play underway. Hetty for VanderJagt, 10 to shoot. Belmont transfer. The jump stop. Pritchard launches from deep. Can't hit it. And a weak side rebound for Javen Simmons.
In that whole possession, the smaller forward was on Oogie. Good job of Toledo helping out on the backside so they couldn't throw it over the top.
Adams thinking three. Back iron miss. Heading the rebound, lost it briefly. Loose change for Pritchard. Here comes Central on the move. Pritchard likes to score in this exact situation. Transition, couldn't hit it. Hetty finds it, then is fouled. And we'll head to the free throw line here for Central Michigan. Sonny Wilson's third. Court speed for Pritchard is electrifying. He can motor in the open floor.
So fast, so strong, and he's explosive too. So when he gets up there, he's able to challenge the shot blocker and being able to finish.
Hetty shoots here. 15.7 boards for him. 2 for 3 so far from the line tonight. Making 3 for 4. Tomorrow morning, 6:30 Eastern. And out to the pitch as Juventus takes on Sampdoria. Women's City showdown right here on CBS Sports Network. Great soccer coming your way. Bench. Brian Jonga was set to check in. The assistant coaches made sure he came right back to the bench next to Tony Barbie. Now he's ready after the made 3 for Hetty. And situationally, Jurashevicius with the foul trouble. He's got 4. Is going to come in and out of the game for Tony Barbie. A big game tonight. 9 points, 5 boards for him. Transfer from the West Coast from Lithuania. Wilson bumped by VanderJagt, no call. Shot airborne. Right back to Central Michigan. And just like that, Jung is up.
Good job from Central collapsing on the dribble drive of Wilson. Wilson's such a tough cover because he's a threat as a passer and as a scorer, and he plays off 2 feet. Good job of Central staying down and helping off that dribble drive.
Big game again for Pritchard. Preseason MVP in the MAC, 10 points, 8 boards. 3 assists for him, been everywhere. Played basically the whole game. Reach foul, trying to feed down low to Jurashevicius. And Javen Simmons picks it up, that's his 3rd. Foul trouble now, Trey, becoming a storyline. 3 for Simmons, 3 for Wilson, 3 for Adams. Big 1-and-1 here in a 4-point game. Big guy's got 1 more, nice stroke.
And both teams have guys who are pretty good at drawing fouls. Good penetrators on the offensive end, so I would expect to see a lot of stoppage of play here in the last 5:50.
Numbers for the big man, becoming the 4th chip tonight to get into double figures. Hits 1 of 2, but a lane violation coming and we'll get another shot at it. Adams was balancing the tightrope there and couldn't maintain the balance. Into the lane he goes. And 1 more free throw attempt here for Jurashevicius. The 11th double-figure game of the season for him. And takes advantage. Heads right back out on the situational sub for Tony Barbie. Good player.
Yeah, I mean, he gets to the foul line, too. I mean, the 2 previous games, he's shot 12 free throws. So a guy that knows how to draw fouls, can make 3-pointers. And I like this by Coach Barbie, kind of an in-and-out situation, defensive lineup to protect him from not picking up that next foul.
Adams between the circles for Lewis. Got 11 tonight, 4 of 8 shooting. Lewis drives the paint, hangs off the glass and in.
Central Michigan got confused on that pick and roll action. Big man thought that there was a switch. VanderJagt thought otherwise, and that allowed Lewis to get free.
Turnover, Adams finds it. A big lefty in transition for Ford. Fellow southpaw. Coach Kowalczyk told us today no one's made a bigger improvement in the offseason than Sam Lewis on this Rocket team, showing us why. Wilson again free and cans it from 10.
And you can just tell Sonny Wilson is been so well coached through his playing career. He's a really good cutter at the point guard position, doesn't force the error, can count on him in late game situations, even though he struggled a little bit early on.
Good defense for Ford. Pritchard lost it off his leg, out of bounds, turned over. 10 turnovers each now in the game here tonight. Wilson All-MAC Frost team last year. 4 times 20-plus points for him this season. Best on the Rocket roster. Toledo close game, high-scoring game with Eastern Michigan last time out here Tuesday. Much different game here tonight.
Central in this matchup zone.
Adams high-low. Simmons gathers and hits. The seal, the post up, and when he's that deep, it's going to be 2.
And what Toledo's doing offensively is they're running their man sets against the Central Michigan zone. I think a lot of times to stop confusion, you want to do that to create rhythm offensively.
Pritchard one-on-one with Adams. Quickness advantage for the Central guard, but the kick out for Henny. 8 to shoot VanderJagt. Big possession for Central Michigan here. 3 of the timer. VanderJagt launches and cans a big one for the Chips.
And that's his game. I mean, on the year, 66% in the mid-range, which is best in the MAC. Doing a good job of shooting over the top of the smaller Wilson.
He's got 15, 6 of 10 shooting. Good game tonight for Central. Isaiah Adams for Ford. 10 to shoot here for the home team. Ford hesitation. Triple team. Jonga loose change. Vasco's on the move. In the paint. Here's Henny. Here's 2 for Central Michigan. What a pass. What a cut. Jacoby Henny. A career best now. 19 for him. Had been 18 against Mississippi State earlier this year. First year Chippewa, the Bethune-Cookman transfer gets it done. Did Pritchard draw the charge? No. It's a block, big block charge.
And he also mentioned the fact that he needs to probably get about 8 rebounds per game on the year, only averaging 5. So he mentioned that number 8, so right on cue.
He's on 8 right now. How about that? One more free throw here for Lewis. Double-double, 14 to 10 against Western Michigan to begin MAC play for Toledo. Every game but one in double figures for him. So 14 to 15. 15 points tonight in all of his free throws. 2-possession game. Must-do time for Central here. Pritchard from 15, short. It's a big miss. Long rebound, Lewis. Then throws it to nobody. And nails the pass to Simmons. Right back to CMU.
You know what I love about that, too, is that Coach Kowalczyk doesn't freak out, doesn't panic, understands this is a game of mistakes. Gives his guy Sam Lewis a high five, tells him next play. That's huge.
Well said, Coach. I like that.
Got to be able to play
broadcasting too. You're making mistakes.
Yeah, right.
Next play, right? 50 to shoot here for Vasco. Pritchard, 10 of the timer. On the back move, good handles. Kicking for Henny, thinking 3. Central needs it. He can't can it. Pritchard, the hustle, trying to call timeout. Airborne, and he couldn't do it.
And one of the challenges right now for Central is that they're really playing off of Pritchard. They're almost giving him dare shots offensively, so it's hard to really for him to throw it into the post. It's hard for him to get downhill and utilize his speed and athleticism. He's got to be confident in knocking down that perimeter jump shot.
Steal, Pritchard, inbounds play, lays it in. The Chips needed it badly. And a preseason MAC Player of the Year delivers. What a theft to cut it to 4. Game changer. Wilson on a bounce to Adams. Here's Adams driving. A lot of contact with Jonga. Came loose to Simmons. And on the rebound, a foul call against Central Michigan.
And how about the anticipation from Pritchard?
Game. 4 of 20 tonight from 3. Pritchard done. A great game tonight for Tony Barbie. Has to sit and watch now. One more free throw for Simmons.
And that's the reality of playing on the road. You got to be able to make shots. I mean, Central's played well defensively. They played with energy, passion, fight, but if you don't make shots, it's hard.
T-Best 17, Jamin Simmons tonight. 4 Rockets, double figures. Now without Pritchard, VanderJagt runs the show. Must do time here for Central. Bonds taking 3, got it! Demarion Bonds breaks the long 3-point slump for Central Michigan.
Go down for Bonds, and especially a key shot, big for his confidence.
Tony Barbie told us today he could be an electrifying shooter when he gets hot, but he's been in his own head part of that long slump. You document it. Maybe he's out of it now. Big triple. A minute 13 and counting here, second half. And a 1-possession game. See Central get a stop. Simmons, deep touch. Can't convert. Another minute to go in regulation. And Chevichez has the big rebound. His 5th of the game tonight. VanderJagt drives in. Hanks can't hit, too strong. Hoping for contact, hoping for a whistle. Nothing from the officiating crew, and then Wilson is bumped.
Man, that's not a good foul. It's still a 2-possession game. You get a stop, still get a 3. I mean,
two fouls, Demarion Bonds.
good news, Sonny Wilson is only a 65% free throw shooter.
Good news for Central fans, you mean?
Yes, yes.
If you're Tony Barbie. 9th leading scorer in the MAC. "14 times this year, double figures." Misses the free throw, right on cue.
If you're Central, you don't need a 3. You can extend this game by getting a quick 2.
Bonds looked back to the bench. You're right about that foul. He thought he heard someone say foul. They didn't. In a 1-possession game, a lot of time left. Second free throw, perfect there for Wilson. Now it's 4. You're thinking 2 points right now?
Yeah, they're going to go to this 2-man action.
Foul call on Lewis.
Almost looked like Lewis intentionally fouled there. They were going to go to that 2-man action with Oogie and VanderJagt. That's where Oogie likes to slip out of it for a pick and pop, and then VanderJagt could get downhill.
76.7% from the line for VanderJagt entering play here tonight. 2 for 2 so far from the stripe. Big 1-on-1 front end here for the Belmont transfer. Hits the first. He's got 16, career best of 20. Came against Akron, one-sided loss for Central. Once MAC play started, 18-game MAC schedule. It'll be a great battle. Getting up to the championship again in Cleveland. VanderJagt hits a pair. Timeout. 1-possession game. And a great finish on the way. Reattempt from Moss. Has since transferred. Off the timeout. Here's Ford. Central second to get to him. Timeout. Remarkably consistent program for Todd Kowalczyk here at Toledo. What job he's done. Lorentz into the game. Inbound stolen. Bonds got it. Right back to Central. And Tony Barbie wants a timeout.
With him and Oogie.
Shot clock turned off. 24 in regulation. Here we go. VanderJagt. 17 tonight for him. Second leading scorer for Central. Bonds with 15. Here's VanderJagt. 10 seconds. Got to go now. 8 seconds for VanderJagt. Great defense. Wilson, 3 seconds. VanderJagt leans in. Tough shot. There's the horn. There's the game. And Toledo wins by 2.
Toledo foul. Foul on number 7, Isaiah Heinrich. Toledo foul number 1, Jalen Simmons. That is his 2nd personal foul. Team 5th. Defense. 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 Anthony Richard. It's his 3rd, team 6th. For 2. Number 17. That is his 4th personal foul. Team 7. David Simmons on the line for the Rockets. 1 shot.